Hi, welcome to Wise Mind Practice Series. My name is Wan-Chen Wang. I'm a staff psychologist at the Student Counseling Center. I pronounce R, she, her, hers. I would like to start with a brief overview of this video series. That there are 3 sessions in this practice series, and each session has specific topic, including mindfulness, distress tolerance, and emotion regulation. Each session is structured with lecture information and various activities for students to participate and learn. The purpose of this video series is not designed to help get rid of the emotions. Instead, it is to provide you with some insights to recognize your emotions you have experienced and some skills and tools for you to learn. We also provide the workbook for each session so that you can download from our website and continue to use it in your daily life. Let's get it started with the first session, mindfulness. During the midst of the sessions, feel free to pause the video for breaks, exercises, and reflections. Today, our goal is to learn why it is important to live in the present moment and how to do so. Oftentimes, we aren't paying attention to what's happening to us or around us. We also try to do more than one thing at a time, like driving, eating, or talking on the phone simultaneously. As a result, we miss a lot of what life has to offer, and we often make easy situations more complicated. We can also make life more painful. And for those of you that have not heard of mindfulness, I will begin by talking about the definition of mindfulness. So mindfulness is defined as the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding experience moment to moment. Or we can simply saying that mindfulness is being fully engaged in the present moment. And the reason that this is important is that almost always our emotional distress is about the past or the future. Emotions we are feeling about something that has happened or worries about something that might happen. By being in the present, we can start to recognize that we are okay in this moment. Mindfulness is a skill that requires the practice. Most people got distracted, zone out, or spend most of their lives by being unmindful or running on autopilot. As a result, they then get lost, anxious, frustrated when the situation doesn't happen as they expect it to. And I will give you some examples in which that all of us might have experiences of being unmindful. So the situation could be like sitting down to read something for school and you sit there for 10 minutes and realize you do not remember anything you have read. Or it can be like while having a conversation, you are thinking about what you are going to say next before the other person has even stopped talking. Or it can be like driving somewhere and realizing that you don't remember anything from along the way. Or it can be walking into a room and forgetting what you want to say. So feel free to pause here and take a moment to reflect your own experiences of being unmindful. So how do we think mindfulness can help us? In other words, what can we benefit from mindfulness? So to summarize from research, empirical articles, and people's experiences, that the importance of mindfulness can actually help us become fully engaged. It makes it easier to savor the pleasure in life as they occur and create a greater capacity to deal with adverse events. Mindfulness can help us take a step back from intense feelings. If you feel overwhelmed by your emotions, it will help you take a step back from intense feelings. And when you take a step back, just notice what is happening. You are much less likely to get caught up in out of control emotions. You are also less likely to get caught up in worries about future or regrets over the past. Mindfulness will also help you learn to identify and separate judgmental thoughts from your experiences. These judgmental thoughts often fuel your overwhelming emotions. It will also help you pay attention to what is going on inside of you. Your thoughts, feelings, sensations, impulses, and outside of you. What you say, hear, smell, or feel. This wealth of information will help you make wiser decisions. And there are two core skill sets in mindfulness. So here I'm going to share by separating those two skill sets. The first one is what skill, as you can see there in the bottom of the PowerPoint. There are three skills that in what skill: observe, describe, and participate. And we will start from observe. And just to give you a reminder that all the detailed information that you can find it in the student workbook, and it's in page 4 to 6. Okay, so first skill, observe. Observe is noticing direct sensory experiences. It is what you feel, sense, see, taste, touch, hear, without labeling it, reaching out to it, or judging it. This is tricky for most people at first because our minds want to label what is happening rather than just being with the bare sensations of that experience. When you practice the observe mindfulness skill, you are allowing your immediate experience to just happen without pushing it away or trying to change it. We may not like what we are experiencing in the moment, but we are accepting that this is the reality of what is happening right now. The second skill in what skill set is describe. So describe builds on observe. Observe is just a bare bones attention, noticing without adding a story. Describe is putting words to what you observe, whether that's a sensation, emotion, or thought. Here is the tricky part. To practice the describe skill, you describe by just sticking to the fact without adding on your own interpretations, assumptions, opinions, or labels. For example, rather than describing the situation of spilling coffee on the floor, you say to yourself, "I'm such an idiot." That thought is a label. It is not describing what happened. To describe the situation is to say, "I spilled coffee on the floor." This tool can also help you not jump into conclusions that make you feel bad about yourself or your relationships without first checking the facts. Another what skill of mindfulness is participate. Participate is to throw yourself completely into an activity. letting go of self-consciousness, judgments, and fear. Participate looks differently depending on the activity. For example, if you are in a classroom discussion, it means letting yourself participate fully in the conversation without worrying what your classmates think of you. Or if you are dancing, it means throwing yourself 100% into the dance, moving with the music, no worrying about how you look. You can participate mindfulness skill during mundane everyday activities as well, like washing dishes. Instead of thinking about how much you hate washing the dishes, or planning what you are going to do after you finish dishwashing, you immerse yourself completely in the activity of washing the dishes. When you participate, you are fully immersed in whatever you are doing instead of just going through the motions while you think about something else. It helps you live your life more fully. Now let's talk about the how skill set of mindfulness. And there are also 3 skills in the how skill: non-judgmentally, one mindfully, and effectively. Let's begin with non-judgmentally. To have a non-judgmental stance, we need to know the difference between describing and judging. Describing is putting words to what you observe, and judging is observing a fact, then adding an evaluation to it, like good or bad, right or wrong, should or should not, terrible or wonderful, worthwhile or worthless, etc., etc. What we are often doing when we judge is to put a label on the consequences of what we do. So, for example, describing would be, I broke the vase, and judging would be, I'm bad. So on the slides, you can see a few steps of reducing judgments. The second skill in how skill set is one mindfully. One mindfully is the act of focusing on one thing at a time. If we brush our teeth, we just focus on brushing our teeth. If we are having a conversation, we just focus on the conversation. This is the opposite of multitasking, a common habit associated with our modern, overstimulated environment. Multitasking isn't effective because when you juggle 3 things at one time, it's unlikely that you can slow down enough to get in touch with your wise mind to help you make decisions. So imagine what it would be like if you kept your phone on silent in your pocket for a whole meal with a friend and focus solely on what your friend is sharing with you. Another skill in how skill of mindfulness is effectively. Effectively means doing what works versus sitting on your hands and wishing reality were different. Effectively is about shifting the focus away from the concept of fairness or unfairness, or who is right and who is wrong. In order to do this, you need to figure out what you want out of the situation. Once you know your goal, you can choose the most effective means to reach the goal. For example, if someone cut you off in traffic, you might be tempted to lean on your horn in response or speed up to tailgate them or pull up next to them, roll down your window and shout at them. This may be an extreme example, But can you see how this isn't effective if your goal is to arrive safely and calmly to your destination? To practice effectively in this example would be not to escalate. Instead, use skills to calm yourself down, such as deep breathing. Remind yourself that your goal is to get to your destination safely, not to punish someone who did something dangerous or to be the king of the road. I'm now inviting you to join me for this guided meditation exercise based on what I shared with you about the what skill and how skill of the mindfulness. And allow yourself to switch from the usual mode of doing to a mode of being. As you allow your body to become still, bring your attention to the fact that you are breathing. And become aware of the movement of your breath as it comes into your body and as it leaves your body. Not manipulating the breath in any way or trying to change it. Simply being aware of it and of the feelings associated with breathing. And observing the breath deep down in your belly. Feeling the abdomen as expanded gently on the in-breath and as it falls back towards your spine on the out-breath. You will find that from time to time, your mind will wander off into thoughts, fantasies, anticipations of the future, of the past, worries, memories, and whatever. When you notice that your attention is no longer here and no longer with your breathing, or without judging yourself, bringing your attention back to your breathing and ride the waves of your breathing, fully conscious of the duration of each breath from moment to moment. Every time you find your mind wandering off the breath, just gently bring it back to the present, back to the moment, to observe the flow of your breathing. Using your breath to help you tune in the state of relaxed awareness and stillness. Now, as you observe your breathing, you may find from time to time that you are becoming aware of sensations in your body. As you maintain awareness of your breathing, see if it is possible to expand the field of your awareness so that it includes a sense of your body as a whole as you sit here. Feeling your body from head to toe and becoming aware of all the sensations in your body. Being here with whatever feelings and sensations come up in any moment without judging them, without reacting to them. Just being fully here, fully aware of whatever you are experiencing. And again, whenever you notice that your mind wandered off, just bringing back to your breathing and your body as you sit here, not going anywhere, not doing anything, just simply being, simply sitting, moments to moment, being fully present, fully with yourself. If you find yourself at any moment drawn into the stream of thinking, and you notice that you are no longer observing them, just coming back to observing them as events and using your breathing and the sense of your body to anchor you and stabilize you in this moment. As the meditation close to the end, you might give yourself credits for having spent this time nourishing yourself in this deep way by dwelling in this state of not doing, in this state of being, for having intentionally made time for yourself to simply be who you are. And as you move back into the world, allow the benefit of this practice to expand into every aspect of your life. And please feel free to take a moment to pause the video. And also, we can start to reflect on our own feelings, sensations, and thoughts from this exercise. And something that I would like to share with you is, it is not that easy to be mindful. It might sound simple, but it takes practice. By practicing how to observe what is around us, we will get more information and learn more about a situation. With more information, we may be able to deal with a situation better. We may have more choices and therefore may be more likely to get what we want. So observing will help you get the information you need. And describing helps you organize the information you get. It helps you think clearly, and it leads you into the wise mind. And so this conclusion leads to our next topic of wise mind. And feel free to take a look in the student workbook, page 7, for more detailed information there. And here, I'm just going to use this slide to briefly explain the concept about the wise mind. So as you can see in the left-hand circle, there is emotional mind. Emotional mind occurs when you make judgments or decisions based on how you feel. So logical thinking and planning may be difficult. Facts can be distorted or made larger or more important. And the energy of the behavior tends to match the intensity of the feelings. So keep in mind that emotions themselves are not bad or problematic. We all need emotions to live healthy lives. So some examples of emotional mind could be having a fight with someone you disagree with, or going on a trip on an impulse without planning decision, or cuddling a puppy, making love, going out to fly a kite just for the fun of it. Or they can be snapping at the salesperson because they don't have the item you want. So feel free to reflect on your own experiences of being in the emotional mind state. And in the right-hand circle, you can see there is a reasonable mind. So reasonable mind is the part of your decision-making process that analyzes the fact of the situation, thinking clearly about what is happening, considers the details, and then make rational decisions. So obviously, this helps us solve problems and make decisions more effectively. So some examples of reasonable mind could be calling the bus station to find out the bus schedule instead of just walking over and hoping to find the bus just came on time. Or it can be measuring the ingredients to bake a cake, or asking the saleswoman the details about something you want to buy, or planning for an outing several days before. And as you can reflect on that, too much rational thinking can be a problem. Consider the person who is very intelligent but doesn't know how to express their emotions. The person will likely lead a lonely life. So when we look at the middle overlapping part of the circle, overlapping two circles, there is a wise mind. So wise mind is the coming together, the overlap of reasonable mind and emotional mind. When they come together, they produce something bigger than either of them would separately. Wise mind draws on emotion and reason to help you weigh options about the right course of the actions to take. Wise mind does so without judgment, because if you are judging yourself, your experiences, or someone else, you are not really paying attention to what's happening in the moment. Judgment is often the road to suffering. If you are judging someone else, you will likely to get angry. And if you're judging yourself, you will likely to get mad or frustrated. Everyone has this wise mind. You can use the mindfulness skills we just learned to help you develop your own wise mind. So I would like to share a simple scenario and see how we can practice wise mind in our daily life. So the scenario would be you text someone you are interested and they haven't texted you back. And reflecting your own emotions, what are your thoughts? The thoughts could be, the phone is off, they lost their phone, they're busy, they don't like me, they're ignoring me. And what are your feelings? The feelings can be feeling hurt, rejected, not seen, embarrassed, irritated, etc., etc. And what are the judgments that you hold? They can be, they don't respect me, I'm stupid for thinking they like me, or I shouldn't have texted. What do you want to do then? The actions could be, you text again, you call them, or you just wait. Now, how can we practice wise mind? Consider taking a few deep breaths and finding the space of calmness inside you. Let your focus of attention settle down in your breathing. Now, rethinking the scenario. Can I be overreacting? Are there any judgments getting in the way? Are there other reasons the person didn't text me back? Are there other things to take into consideration? And feel free to pause here, and I want you to reflect on your own experiences, including your thoughts, feelings, and actions that you might take it differently. I would like to share another metaphor before we end this session. So this metaphor we called weather metaphor. So say we live in Oregon, which can have a wide range of weather within a single week or even a single day. Some people live in spaces where it's almost always sunny and calm. Similarly, many of us have emotions that can vary, sometimes unpredictable, and sometimes can be rather intense. And those folks who are just sunny and calm, well, good for them. And imagine if you were a person who was trying to live in Oregon during wintertime with only shirts and shorts for clothing. If you get caught up in the rain, or worse, snowstorm, you would get very wet and cold, and even potentially be in danger of serious harm. You would feel helpless and out of control much of the time, because you wouldn't be able to go anywhere on certain days or times of the year because of the weather, making it impossible to function. You might feel really angry at the weather. If, however, you gradually became more accepting that weather is part of life here in Oregon and acquired more tools to cope with the weather, you would begin to feel more able to function. For example, a raincoat would go a long way towards being able to tolerate raining weather. A thick jacket and boot can help you tolerate cold weather, even if snow still annoys you. You might get in the habit of looking out the windows and reading weather reports to anticipate what could be coming and plan accordingly, or carry an umbrella in your bag if needed. Having all these tools for coping with the weather would help you feel less stressed about when and whether it was going to storm. Similarly, if we can learn to accept that emotions arise from time to time as part of the life and develop our own toolkit of coping strategies, we can handle our emotional weather more effectively and function better. Mindfulness is one strategy for doing this. And this metaphor, you can find thorough scripts in page 10 of the workbook in session 1. Before we wrap up, I would like to share additional resources that you can use at your own time on your own. So here are some books for further readings and some online resources for meditation, and also some apps for your smartphone. Feel free to download, check out, and if any additional questions, feel free to reach out to Counseling Center, and we'll be able to support you. I hope through today's session that you have learned some basic knowledge of mindfulness and also learned some skills that you can continue to practice on your own. In the next session, Alison Haidu Poland, our another clinical staff at the Student Counseling Center, will present another topic. It's called distress tolerance. And stay tuned in our next video, and we hope you will enjoy it.